Hello there guys, this is TCM Monksy, and today I'm doing a little video talking about the recent Dreamhack Valencia event our team attended with a pickup which was Karma from the Envious lineup from the American Pro team. We actually placed second at the event, losing to Epsilon in the grand final 6-3 on maps. Now, talking a little bit about the event, I'm going to answer some of the questions that have been kind of posted on Twitter. Now, I apologise if I sound like a complete zombie. I'm doing this at, I think it's 1 AM right now. I still haven't turned my clock back, but yeah, first question is going to be from Instinct Lando. After placing second, how are you guys feeling running up to EGL 10, and what part of your game do you feel needs improving the most? It's just kind of an interesting question because whether you're referring to Gfinity as second, I'm assuming you are, because obviously we attended with Karma, which wasn't a full lineup, but we kind of realised that S&D obviously is still our strongest game mode, probably. And then our hard point was kind of very strong at the event. I think we were kind of discussed as being one of the heaviest slaying teams at Gfinity actually, by I think it was Rambo. And TP, sorry, actually kind of said that we had a very similar playstyle to the Complexity team. But yeah, I mean, I think our hard point's relatively good. There are a few particular hills that we can work on, and our rotation is still not quite up to par with a lot of the American teams, but we're getting there. I think CTF is definitely our weakest game mode. We lost to Optic, Impact, and Complexity in this game mode, and we kind of didn't really put much of a fight in two of those three. So coming out of this, we're going to kind of work on that, the choke points, and particularly setting up on like kind of sides of the map, and playing for map control, which is something we kind of did. We're all kind of mod 3. I wasn't one of the big heavy mod 3 players, but we're really going to try and improve that game mode coming into EGL 10. Because obviously it's only 1 of 5, but it's still just as important. It's still one map, and that can be the difference in these kind of best of 5 series. If you draw 1-1, having won like a S&D and lost a hard point. But yeah, CTF is definitely our mode to improve. Now, a question from King Hasm: are you coming to EGL 10? Yes, our team will be attending EGL 10. We're trying to chase that infamous ESWC spot invite. I'm not sure what's going down with the one from Dreamhack Valencia, because obviously the Epsilon lineup have split and disbanded. I think the proposed idea is it's going to go to Shane and Zanity, which obviously I think they deserve, because that it wasn't their fault. This kind of thing happened, and they were allowed to roster changes according to the rule set. But other than that, we're going to try and chase that at EGL, play for the win. But a big problem for that is Flux is currently in Tenerife and won't be back until 5 days before the event, so we'll have kind of minimal practice again, but we'll put in the hours and make sure that we're going as confident as ever and try and get up to the level we were at prior to Gfinity, which I think was the best state I've ever been in a team of practice, particularly in S&D. So yeah, we will be attending EGL 10. Now, 2 questions which are very similar, one from Energized AJW and one from Fumes SL, saying, would you have done better with Flux in Karma? Now, obviously I can't just go, yes, we would have done better with Flux, or no, we wouldn't, because that would be kind of too blunt, but I'd say Karma is the best player on Black Ops 2 by a country mile. Anyone that kind of says otherwise, well, he's definitely the best hardpoint player, but he's easily the best slayer as well. I mean, he kind of understands the game to another level to a lot of players, and I think he kind of plays in a very slippery style that's kind of difficult to find him. Like, you'll probably see him less on the map than any other player. But yeah, he's definitely probably the best player in the game. But to answer the question, yes, I think we would have done better with Flux, and I think the reason for that really is because to stress that teamwork is more important than individuals. It kind of says a lot that we can kind of come out of events and go, yeah, we all played well, or yeah, we all played bad, and still kind of brush it off. I mean, there's no I in team, kind of, so to speak, and that's what kind of the mentality is with TCM. We don't really, obviously there is limelight when someone does well. I mean, for example, a lot of people kind of gave me a lot of limelight with the Yemen hardpoint against Impact, and Marky B with a lot of his performances, but internally within the team, none of us kind of set up and went, so and so played better than so and so. We all kind of on a level agreed that there's room to improve, and we all played well at Gfinity. But at Dreamhack Valencia, I felt we would have done better with Flux. I think we would have taken a lot of the game modes. I mean, I'll give an example. We lost S&D Express in the final against Epsilon, and at Gfinity we didn't lose that all event. And no disrespect to Epsilon, they're a great team. Well, they were a great team, sorry, past tense, but I don't think they were quite as good as like the Optics, the you know, the Envies, and those kind of like those American teams who pride themselves on being good at S&D, and we were beating them quite comfortably at Gfinity. And for us to kind of lose that, I think it attributed to our lack of chemistry and teamwork with Karma. But that takes nothing away from him as an individual, and we can all kind of agree that. I mean, a lot of players came up to me after the event and kind of noticed that Karma was our best player by a country mile, but individually, the three of us didn't play as comfortable as we could have done, like we did at Gfinity. And a big reason for that is we had to change our roles, particularly on Hardpoint. I just played more of an objective style, and obviously Karma's the best slayer, so we were like, you know, we'll play around you. So me and Rich kind of had to adjust, and I think that was a big factor as to why we struggled a lot more in Hardpoints, and particularly CTF, because the roles are really messed up in CTF. I think one of the games I was running sub objective, then the next game I was running like AR defender, and then like it was just a mess. But you know, that's mainly attributed down to our lack of practice, which, you know, we had half a night of practice when Karma was at Loco Shore. But yeah, I felt we probably would have done better with Flux. What was the atmosphere like from the Spanish crowd? The Spanish crowd were immense. I can't speak highly enough of them. A lot of the guys that I met from Spain, they were all really nice guys, and they really kind of built up this atmosphere of they support their teams through thick and thin. They were like clapping when Giants won a round against Epsilon. It was ridiculous. I mean, hats off to them. They really do have one of the best communities in esports. How was the after party from Dougie Monster? It wasn't actually a free Twitch party. We went up to this rooftop in the middle of Valencia. It was like a very expensive kind of nightclub looking place, and yeah, it was ridiculously nice. It was all like an open rooftop. It was really warm, and there'd be people kind of walking in who were like evidently pretty wealthy, and then there'd be like us all stood there in like football shorts, and obviously we weren't wearing gaming tops, but yeah, we just looked like we looked like the in-betweeners, to say the least, as a bunch. But you know, it was a good laugh, and everyone got, you know, quite hammered, to say the least. At one point, we were like looking for a taxi at like 5:30 AM, and we randomly just saw Millennium Risking just standing there by himself, just like swaying backwards and forwards without any of them nearby. So I assume he got home all right, but yeah, it was a crazy kind of experience. And anyway, next question from LJ White 99. I have to answer this question. Would you rather be attacked by 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? It has to be the 10 duck-sized horses, doesn't it? Because like a horse-sized duck with that beak would just tear you a new one. Why? Another question from M. Kirker. What happened with your headsets? I use a SteelSeries adapter, so I've never really been accustomed to LAN. I usually like borrow equipment. At Gfinity it was provided. At EGL we obviously have all our TCM guys that bring stuff, and we were kind of hoping the Spanish community would borrow me and Karma stuff, because Karma had been to Gfinity as well, where stuff was provided. But we had to play the winner bracket final against Epsilon without headsets and sound. That was the biggest aspect, was not having game sound. It's stuff like S&D and stuff. It was horrible. When like someone would be shooting you in the back and you just wouldn't react because you can't hear anything. And we obviously couldn't communicate half as well, because in S&D if you say strat they'll hear you. I couldn't hear Marky, who was 2 seats away, because the music was so loud. There was actually a point where he went, "Oh, everyone go A, everyone go A," and I did, like, me and Rich just turned to each other, sorry, and I was like, "Where are we going?" And he's like, "I don't know, ask Karma." So it's kind of like a game of Chinese whispers in terms of like trying to find out what call-ups had been said. So it was really kind of a bit of a joke, but there was nothing we could do. It was our own faults, and Millennium had to play in the same circumstances as well against us, so they kind of understand as well how difficult it is. And obviously they have language barriers. I couldn't even imagine what it'd be like to be one of their players playing, you know, without headsets with a different language being spoken. But other than that, most of the questions are very similar to, like, you know, the ones I've kind of just answered. But yeah, I mean, a lot of questions have been based around what was it like teaming with Karma. The main aspect that I kind of say about teaming with Karma, he's one of, if not the humblest guy, humblest. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Humblest, whatever the adjective for someone being humble is. Yeah, he just got on with everyone. He's really, you know, down to earth. One of the most positive guys in game as well, which really surprised me, because every time I kind of watched Impact, they'd always be arguing. But Karma was really positive all the time, always be saying like, "This is what we should do. We're gonna win." We'd be like 5-3 down, and he'd be like, "We're still gonna do the comeback, and we're still gonna win." But he played an amazing all event, and I'd argue he probably deserved one of the shouts for MVP because some of the stuff he did at LAN was ridiculous. That 1v3 against Millennium. I don't react normally to most things that are like that good, and now does Karma, because every time he kind of does something good, he just kind of sits there and lets it speak for itself. But even he stood up and said something, and I just put my headset down and walked away because I was like, "What just happened? That should not happen." It was mental, and I've uploaded the video of that 1v3. Other than that, there wasn't many big things that actually happened in game. I think there weren't many top teams at the event. Everyone could kind of agree. We're all just kind of as an Epsilon battling out for that, infamous ESWC spot. But we're going to come into the next event quietly confident. We'll have our lineup back, and we can get as much practice down as we can when Ryan gets back from his holiday. But if you've enjoyed this kind of Q&A that I've got going on, be sure to post in the comments, below of what you'd like to talk about. I think I'm gonna do some kind of not tips and tricks, but kind of little hit like comments about stuff that can make you not just a better team but a better player, and aspects that aren't spoken about, like team chemistry, the importance of teamwork, the importance of like staying positive, and how to kind of treat your teammates at LAN events, because having been on the receiving end of both good and bad experiences, I think a big attributor to why Epsilon and ourselves were successful is because of the way teammates behave around each other. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please like the video and post in the comments below. Goodbye.